The Goonies, guys. The Goonies. This was my pick.
The Goonies.
Yep. I remember watching this movie many times as a child, but never actually watching the entire thing, which, makes sense because I didn't remember fucking anything about this movie. Literally no plot points about this I expected at all. It's basically like watching a movie blind at this point. But yeah, this was a movie. There's a bunch of kids at the Goonies. They uncover a treasure map or something in their mom's attic, or their parents' attic, and they go off on a grand adventure to find the gold of One-Eyed Willie or something. And they do that, and they encounter these literal murderers that killed a person, and then they also go on the trip to find the gold because they want money. There's all sorts of hijinks. They go through like a big cave. There's all sorts of traps and puzzles and stuff they have to solve. They almost fucking die. And there's a big bombastic ending where they're on the ship and they have to battle the literal murderers. And then they escape and they get caught by the police and everybody's happy. The end.
Ooh.
Guys, I think this movie did not live up to the hype at all for me. I think it's pretty goofy. I think mostly it's because it leans super far into just like being some like kids adventure movie, but it's also a little bit too serious with what it does.
Yeah.
Like with its traps and so. For example, literal murderers, right? They killed a person. They've been shown to be like these violent, dangerous criminals. They were gonna fucking blend a child's hand, and then they're just shown to be kind of like these bumbling idiots when they get into the cave. They should be like actual threats. Like if they wanted to, they could have just fucking gunned down all these kids and taken the money and basically had no risk. But obviously it's a kids movie, so they can't do that. So they're just fucking idiots. Mm-hmm. Also, like the traps and shit. If this was also, you have to kind of, this is like a Fantastic Mr. Fox, and you have to suspend your disbelief a bit. But if these were actual kids, the second like any of these traps came off, they probably would have just fucking dipped because this is horrifying. Like especially like the kid that literally got dropped like 30 feet onto a bed of fucking bamboo spikes, like, and they just walk it off and like, yeah, that's chill. Or like the fucking falling rocks and shit. Like this is like impossibly dangerous. Like these kids literally could have died. They joke about the fact that they could have died, but they literally just could have died. And
to be fair, Jackson, for the spike trap, that kid's from Vietnam. He had to like deal with that kind of shit on a daily basis.
They're Chinese, anyways. The tension thing makes it really weird, and then that really exacerbates itself with the final scene with them on the ship fighting the bad guys. That shit was really stupid and dumb, and just like goofy. I couldn't take it seriously. I couldn't take most of this movie seriously. It's just kind of like dumb kids humor. I thought it was charming though. I think the practical effects stuff they did kind of looked like shit at sometimes when like the falling rocks would just fucking bounce up in the air, which looked super dumb.
Yeah.
Or like there'd just be like random CG rocks falling and shit when they could have used practical effects. But overall, I think the effects and stuff were like totally fine for the time. Anyways, I talked a lot. What the fuck do you guys think about this movie?
But like, by today's standards are a bit dated. I definitely think the biggest issue with this film is its inconsistent tone. Like Jackson said, 1 minute they fucking found a dude in a freezer who got his bullet in his head. The next we're hearing Chunk talk about how like the time he threw up on some people at a movie theater, and everyone in the movie theater started throwing up on each other. It's just one of those things. It's a little odd. It doesn't quite feel right. It just doesn't. But other than that, I hate the characters for the most part. I don't find really any of them to be particularly likable at all. Tanner looks bewildered right now, but they're all pretty fucking bland, I guess. I don't particularly care about any of them. Data especially I hate. He's annoying. Chunk is also really annoying. He does the truffle shuffle, which is pretty fun. But outside of that, also the woman, okay? The female girl who is not the main love interest. I hate her. I despise her so much. She's just constantly chiming in with all these snide remarks about like, you're a little kid, you piece of shit. Fuck you, kid. And it's like, just shut up already. Please. I don't care what you have to say.
Anyways, Tanner, defend this movie. Why are you giving it an S+?
I'm not going that high. Let's not get crazy. But
I know, Tanner, this movie's a classic or whatever, and you always love to defend the classics. Outside of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, outside of that one, you love all the classics, okay?
Except for the bad ones.
Yeah, tell us about how this is like a real Ferris Bueller's Day Off, a masterpiece, a masterclass of its time, in fact.
It's not. I do think It's a charming little film. I agree with a lot of the points you guys brought up, except for what Nico was just, that's fucking crazy.
What do you mean?
He's capping hard.
What do you mean, dude?
I think these are engaging and interesting characters.
No, they aren't.
I think,
What's interesting about
yes,
any of
are.
them?
Shut up. I think a lot of what this movie does well is that, especially the dialogue with all the kids, is very well written. These feel like actual children in how they actually speak and interact with each other.
Agreed on that point.
Okay. So you're saying your bias is just kind of like you don't like kids.
No, that's not it at all. I don't like the characters themselves. I do agree that the dialogue is pretty good, where like their banter does feel very childlike, but the characters themselves, I don't like.
I guess I just like what's wrong with the characters. You know, they fit like the little archetypes and whatever.
They're just like fucking archetypes, dude. They're stereotypes that we've seen a million other times.
Yeah, but this was like one of the first movies to fucking do that.
I disagree. I feel like there are many films prior to this where it's like the same sort of characters doing the same bullshit.
Like what?
I don't know. Fucking Stand By Me, I guess. I don't know exactly.
Stand By Me was 87.
That's fucking nuts,
that
dude.
That came out 2 years later.
Unfortunately, Tanner, I don't have any exact films for you at the moment, but I know for a fact that these are all fucking basic ass stereotypes that they've been done hundreds of times.
I know, but like, what if the Goonies did it first?
What if they did it first, dude? Even if they did it first, it's something we've seen so many times. It still doesn't do anything interesting with them.
I think you're being a little cringe right now, to be honest, Nico. I think you're being like.
For example, Tanner, you look at a show like Seinfeld, okay? Seinfeld or Friends or something like that, they're not very good by today's standards because they're things that we've seen so many other times. I don't like Seinfeld, Tanner. We've been over this, man.
Shut the fuck up then. But sit down. You don't have a good opinion
These are all
about this
things
one.
They've been reiterated upon so many times that by today's standards, they're just kind of fucking cliche and they're not very good anymore.
I think
okay?
that's a terrible way to like assign rankings to these movies, but whatever.
Look, dude, I'm sorry I can't like go back in time and watch this film prior to seeing all that good shit that did all this stuff significantly better, but it's just not the reality we live in. I can't look at this in that way, you know?
Okay. That's fine that you don't have an imagination or whatever the fuck your problem is.
I'm sorry you can't delete your memory of good things.
Yeah, sure, whatever you're talking about. Yeah, I think the standout thing is how well written these characters are and their interactions between each other, and it very much feels like when I'm a kid, I want to go on a little adventure or whatever, and I kind of disagree about the tone stuff, just because like. I think having real shit in kids' movies is generally a good thing.
I think if there's real shit in a kids' movie, though, they should react to it like it's actual real shit, though. Which is what the disconnect is for me. Like, if it's a kids' movie and they're like...
I'm referring specifically to the Cardellinis.
They're still a pretty fucking major threat. They killed a person. They broke out of jail. They've been shown to be capable. But they're
oh my gosh, these people are crazy. We gotta get away from them.
Yeah, and they're total jobbers at the end, though.
Yeah. They're also kind of shown to be jobbers the whole time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of shown to be like little fucking dumbos, but they're
kind of dumb and goofy.
They also could have done like anything, and they did nothing.
They also immediately the film starts with them breaking out of prison, which in and of itself. It does show like a certain level of cunning to them at the very least, which just isn't present at all throughout the rest of the film.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, I just think this is a charming little adventure story, and I like the characters, and I like the way they're written, and I like a lot of the little lines and quirks of it. I do think it could be a bit tighter, maybe a bit more action here and there, probably some higher stakes, I'd say.
What you're saying is they shouldn't have cut the giant octopus from the film.
They should have included the giant octopus fight, damn it. They should have given Data a gun, stuff like that.
Yeah, whenever he's not talking on screen, everyone should have been asking, "Where's Data at? Where's our funny little sidekick?" They also should have given him access to a time machine. I feel it would have been pretty cool.
There we go, yeah. But yeah, I just think this is I appreciate the scope and the sort of compactness of this film. It really is something that exists only unto itself. Like, we don't have to worry about all this expanded universe bullshit. We don't have to worry about a fucking chunk, spin-off movie. It gets to exist as its own thing, and I appreciate it for that.
That's like most movies, though. That's a really weird thing to praise it for. Irreversible.
I suppose that is most movies, but like
This one really shows itself to be like that, I guess, for you.
this one is the one that got popular and then didn't do all that other bullshit.
What about Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
Yeah,
Tanner?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off too.
What about Monster House?
What about
bro?
Goonies?
I feel like the level of acclaim of Monster House is not quite on par with the Goonies.
How about 9? Nightmare Before Christmas? Many of the Disney catalog?
Anyways, I liked it.
Unfortunate. Common Tanner L.
Rankings?
Yeah, Jackson, how'd you feel about this one?
I gave this one a C+.
See, dude, looking over my other films, is this going to be another week where Jackson and I rank every single movie the same as
I
each
think we've
other?
done that once before.
We have, but like,
Tanner, how about you while he's not having a brain blast?
I'm gonna slap this one in B+.
B+, okay.
I'm thinking, dude, here, cause like, I could see it either going in B- or C+, is my big problem. I don't know which one it should fall under, though.
All right, consider this. C+ is high average, and C+ is low average, and B- is high average.
You know, looking at what I have in B- right now, I don't think that this film is on par with Monster House. So I think I am going to put in C+.
There we go. Nico's copying me for another week in a row. L.
The last
even though
two
I was the one that copied him.
movies you gave me the exact same rank as me. Hang on.
But you copied this one. That's the fucking one that counts. Anyways, that puts the Goonies at a B pending.
Whoa.